Hello, and welcome back to the Salary Negotiation Masterclass Beyond the Basics. I'm Gemma Lopez, your career coach, and today we're going to take things up a notch by exploring advanced salary negotiation strategies. If you've been with me so far, you know that we've already covered the importance of mindset. Now it's time to focus on the strategies that will make your negotiations truly effective. In the last episode, we talked about mindset. Now it's time to elevate your negotiation skills with advanced strategies. I remember working with a client who, after mastering the basics, was ready to go deeper. Once he learned these advanced techniques, his negotiations went from good to great, and he saw a significant boost in his offers. And these strategies can help you go from merely accepting what's offered to securing what you deserve. Preparation is key to any salary negotiation. Have you ever heard that saying, failing to plan is planning to fail? Nothing can be more true than walking into a conversation without any real supporting evidence or data to back your claims. Even if you don't share your research or your findings, it still makes a huge difference when you show up confidently and more educated around your market value. I once worked with a client who spent weeks researching market rates and industry trends and standards before her negotiation. It took longer than usual, mainly because she had such a niche position that we had to do some digging to research comparable titles and responsibilities. But in the end, she told me it was all worth it. She walked into her performance review with data to back up her proposal, and it completely shifted the power dynamic. She wasn't just asking for a raise, she was presenting a well-researched case with supporting evidence and even created a new job description and scorecard so that it was easy for her manager to present her case to the necessary parties, and that made all the difference. Doing your homework gives you the confidence and leverage you need to negotiate effectively. Have you ever walked into a negotiation without being fully prepared? How did that affect the outcome? Now, let's talk tactics. Actually, before we talk tactics, we need to address one thing: the attitude that you have going in. I shared this tip with one of my clients, and she could not believe how much this one thing changed the way she looked at talking about salary during interviews. And it's really simple. Are you ready? It's having the attitude and expectation that the company you're interviewing with probably won't be able to afford you. I actually myself go into every conversation with the assumption that they won't be able to afford me. Why? Because it changes the dynamic of the conversation. So let's test this out with a little role playing so you can follow what I'm saying. Candidate A: oh gosh, I never know how to answer these questions. I want to be at 80,000, but I'm super open because money isn't really that important to me, so I'm negotiable. Candidate B: I'm glad we're addressing this now because I really don't want to waste your time or mine. My salary expectations are a bit on the higher end, so I'd really like to talk through this. What is the salary range for the role? Okay, did you hear the difference? Did you feel the difference? I can tell you by my experience on the receiving end of that conversation, confidence and assertiveness shines through and is most impressive. So if you think being confident or being upfront about talking salary is cringe, that is a myth, my friend. Another one of my favorite techniques is anchoring, which is just a fancy way to say setting the initial offer high to create a favorable range. It's always hard to come out of a negotiation when you accidentally lowball yourself. Is it impossible? No, but it definitely takes a little bit more skill. I had a client who used this tactic in her negotiation, and she was able to not just secure a higher salary, but also better benefits and a flexible work schedule. How was she able to do that? She did the research. She knew exactly what a fair salary was for the role she was interviewing for. She had very solid data, and she felt confident that she was asking for exactly what she deserved. And remember, negotiation isn't just about money. Things like benefits, work conditions, and growth opportunities can be just as important. So use these tactics to cover all of your bases. How much more could you achieve if you approached your next negotiation with this level of confidence? Negotiations don't always go smoothly, and they don't always get resolved all in one meeting. I had a client who was given a lowball offer that was way below market value. Instead of accepting it, she used the research and tactics that we discussed to confidently counteroffer. She didn't get everything she asked for, but she did secure a much better package than what she was initially offered. It's all about knowing your worth and standing firm, even when faced with challenges, and also knowing your priorities and values and what you're willing to take and what you're willing to walk away from. And sometimes negotiations take months, especially if you're asking for a salary increase or a promotion. While many people think their manager has the power to grant them a raise, that's oftentimes not the case. There are budgets and policies and approvals that need to be taken into consideration, and it may take time. But that should not deter you from trying because your efforts will be worth it once you can wake up in the morning feeling confident and appreciated because you're being paid what you deserve. So, what happens when you combine these strategies with patience and persistence? Well, let me share a story with you. A client of mine was approaching her 3-year work anniversary at her job. And after almost 3 years with this company, there had been significant changes that resulted in her taking on additional responsibilities and essentially the work of 2.5 people on top of what she was hired to do. Her boss supported her growth and granted her request to obtain a certification to advance her career in an area that she was taking over at work but lacked education around. When we started working together, she was burnt out, she was tired, and she felt undervalued and underpaid. But she didn't want to leave the organization because she loved the people that she worked with and could see a future there, especially with the support of her manager by paying for her certification. We worked together to research her We worked together to research the market, evaluate her duties and how much it had changed, and also put together a proposal and presentation for her to formally present her request to the CEO. She was so nervous that I actually role played with her and pretended to be the CEO just so she could work out the nerves. This was a big deal. The final result, she not only got the promotion that she wanted, but she also negotiated a significant salary increase, about $30,000 to be exact, and additional benefits like a budget for continuing education. And her manager was so impressed by the level of detail and her presentation that she admitted she didn't even realize that my client had taken on so much work. And she even hired her an assistant to help her relieve some of her duties. I share this story with you so that you can see that this is what's possible when you combine mindset with advanced strategies. Advanced strategies can take your negotiations to the next level, but like anything, they require practice. I've had clients who started using these tactics right away and saw immediate improvements in their negotiations. I encourage you to prepare for your next negotiation using these strategies. And if it seems overwhelming, simply just take one of the strategies we discussed today and apply it to a current or upcoming negotiation. Even just practicing it with a friend or mentor can make a huge difference. In the next episode, we'll explore how leveraging your personal brand can further enhance your negotiation power. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Salary Negotiation Masterclass Beyond the Basics. Remember, advanced strategies are your tools for negotiating from a position of strength. Keep practicing and you'll see the difference in your next negotiation. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.